Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Greetings, one and all. Welcome to another episode of King Simon Presents Only Quality People, and we have a very good guest that's going to be coming up in a couple minutes. But you know what I do, you know how I do, you know why I do. I do it well too. It's your brother King Simon in the mathematical universe. You know how it is. As the great scientists and the great ones of the past said, that the universe is a grand book. A mathematical grand book. So big up to Isaac Newton and all of those guys that are still permeating throughout the world of science by talking about the universe being a grand book. And of course, today we got a special guest coming up momentarily, but we're not going to bring her up yet. So we got Kendell Cobb. Of course, you make sure you go to her IG at Hypnosis with Kendell. We're going to be sipping tea and talking hypnotherapy. Yes, I do got my mother flipping tea. Stop playing. So if you haven't gotten your tea yet, go get your tea. We're not spilling tea. We're sipping tea. So stop playing. We are sipping tea. We are not spilling tea. So don't get it twisted up in here. Don't get it twisted up in here. And later on tonight, we're going to have the one, the only Destiny Pendarvis. She owns a boutique called Egyptian Eyes Boutique. Great person. She is an intuitive life coach and a crystal advisor. And we're going to be speaking about the power of inner growth. And then on February 3rd, the Wednesday, on January 31st, not February 3rd. I'm sorry, but don't quote me on that. January 31st, we have the one, the only Blue Pillar and Black Dot will be in the building. I'm going to be interviewing them about the next event they got coming up at Nicholas Brooklyn. Make sure y'all go to Nicholas Brooklyn at Eventbrite, and you can find out all the events that's going on. But in the meantime and in between time, do remember, if you're in Toronto, Canada, make sure you check out Professor James Smalls. My brother is going to be there at the Bukan restaurant. They sound like an African place, so we got to respect Africa. Oh my God, I'm serious. You got to respect Africa. Okay. And do remember, on February the 11th, we have Nia Love, and she got a big ceremony coming up in Jamaica. Mental health professionals, therapists, and healers need healing also. She'll be doing a major event in Jamaica from April the 20th all the way to the 24th. So if you're in the mental health field, or you're a therapist or healer in any way, going out to Jamaica, go do the yoga, go do the meditation at the beach, do all of this, because we know a lot of you practitioners need a little help. Y'all need to, diffuse a little and ground yourself. So what better places to go but to Jamaica? So go check out that. That's going to be beautiful. Make sure that's a good friend of mine. Nia is a very good friend of mine. She's a student of Queen of Four, student of Dr. Africa. And I can't wait to hear all the testimonials of all those people that's going to be going out there. Also, on April the 6th and the 7th, we have the great Professor James Smalls coming to Atlanta. 2-day experience with the Spiritual Warrior Edition. We're going to be speaking about the spiritual warriorism, of course, of mental, spiritual, physical, and the importance of being a spiritual warrior and tapping into your sacred African sacred sciences, like Professor James Smalls like to talk about. And then the private one will be only 33 people will be able to hold in that one. And that's a no holds bar event. Believe me, you want to be there. And the tickets will go on sale on my birthday, February 1st, on my birthday, born day on February 1st. Both tickets will be in the link tree. That's linktree/King Simon, the numerator. Remember, we had a big tribute to Dr. Africa last night online. So Big up to Laila Africa. Go to his website, support the book, join his new nutritional counseling course, and make sure you follow the Dr. Laila Africa method. And do remember, on February 1st, Brother Aton Edwards will be coming out with a new website. That's right. It will be blasting. That's right. On February the 1st at on afroprep.com. That's afroprep.com. But if you want to see any information, go to readyforanything.org. Also, you can go to that website. And big up to my son that got his studio with his friends and his partners. Green Studio, New York City, NYC. If you want to do a audio book, you want to record your own poetry book, your songs, whatever. They also do photo shoots. They also build beats. They also consult. They also do merchandising. They can help you out. Get them a call and try them out and email them. And if you want to take my Applied Numerovation webinar and get the information that you need to guide yourself, hey, that's what I'm all about, you learning how to do it for yourself. You can also circulate $55, and that's, of course, you put it through PayPal or Cash App, and then put in the description your email and your phone number that I can text you, and I will send the links via those ways right there. And do remember, check out Carrie Ann Ingram from out of Toronto, Canada. Big up to her. Make sure you hit her up at carrieanningram.com and also Linktree/Carrie Ann Ingram. Lloyd Strayhorn, always Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Hit him up. Get his books, get his newsletter, take his courses, do all of that. Remember, my audio books are coming out. I think I'm putting out Numerovation first. So my audio books are coming out in the spring, right at the beginning of spring. So make sure you check that out, and make sure you get any of my books on Amazon, Kindle, and also make sure you go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. And remember, you can also book a session with me. I like to help numerovate you. I give you the ups and the downs, the positive and negative. And hey, you go where you got to go with it. All right. So I am happy. We're about to bring up my dear friend and a wife of a good friend of mine also. These are just good people, family. These are just good people. So make sure y'all support them in every way. Let me make sure my Facebook feed is going well. Let me put the Facebook up. Great. Facebook is up. Let me check everything. Everything is going. They're looking good. Boom, 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 bap. Okay, I got Twitter's up. Okay, King Simon Numerovation is up. Okay, Instagram. Can you hear me on Instagram? Put the number 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Instagram. If you can put the number 1 in the chat. If you could hear me, Instagram, come on. Yeah, let's see. If y'all in there, y'all in YouTube land, if y'all could hear me, put the number 1. Big up to my sister. She in the building. Katana, what's up, girl? How you doing? Big up to her, my blood sister. So if y'all don't know, now you know. All right. So without any further ado, we want to bring on this beautiful sister who says on her website, her approach to hypnotherapy and life coaching is completely holistic, intuitive, organic, and comprehensive. She says, we humans are extremely complex and multi-layered with multiple issues to address. And we are all conditioned by our experience, our childhood, our self-talk. And my process and her process allows for multiple issues to be addressed within the session. And she got much more on her website. We'll show her website momentarily. I want to welcome right here on the virtual website, the virtual platform of King Simon Presents, as we welcome the one, the only Kendell Cobb in the building. Kendell.
Hi, Simon. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's always good to have you, and of course, Aton when he's ready to come on. You know how he do. And big up to you, family. Make sure you support her, hypnotherapist and life coach, and she's celebrating 26 beautiful years in the field. And you can call her by her new 1-800 number. That's 1-800-396-MIND, which is actually 6469, which actually adds up to your birthday number. It adds up to a number 1. So that's interesting that you got 64, 63. That's interesting. When you break it all down, it breaks down to 19.
Thing.
Is that, yeah.
It is a good thing.
Say it again.
Is it a good thing though?
Oh yeah, that's your thing. It adds up to 19. 19 is one of the best combination of numbers to have, although it's called a karmic number if you don't finish what you start. You always got to finish what you start, and then it adds up to a 10. That 1 and 9 equals a 10. So that's a wheel of fortune. You're already born on the 10. So that's a wheel of fortune number. So whatever you put your mind to, whether you did good or evil, you could be accomplished. You could be hypnotizing for evil purposes.
No, I would never do that.
So I'm just saying, you can go down that road. Everything has a duality. So you got to just be, and then you got the 396, which is the Nikolai Tesla numbers. 369 is the Nikolai Tesla numbers. That's interesting that you really delve into what you got there. And then mind, everything is mental. The mind is mental. That's the whole Hermetic philosophy. All is mind. Everything is all is mind. Everything is mental. That's what they call it. That's what they say in the Hermetic philosophy. So it's interesting that you even got that number. That's a good number, girl. So I'm gonna give you a round of applause. How you been? I got my tea. Where your tea at, girl? Stop playing. You got the same cup too. That's good. You got the same.
Any client of mine knows this cup. It accompanies every session.
Oh yeah, what kind of tea you drinking?
Earl Grey.
Oh yeah, I love Earl Grey, but I got green tea today.
Healthy.
Mm-hmm. Now, everybody, I hope y'all got your tea. If y'all got your tea, we're not spilling tea. No. We're gonna be sipping tea. So if you got your tea, put the 1 in the chat. Get your tea. If you ain't gonna get your tea yet, please put the 1 in the chat. Put the 1 in the chat. If you ain't get your tea, go get your tea. If you got your tea, we're about this tea. And I think this is very important, a very important topic, because she helped me along the way and many others. And I think she's gotten the most melanated customers since she did an interview with me and Lloyd and various. Right. Let's get that a round of applause. 26 years. That is not anything. I mean, some of the people on here might not even be 26 years old. So that's a good one.
That's right. I have clients that are much younger than that.
And let me make sure I switch you on the other side so I can put you up front when I need to. Okay, so let's talk about that. 26 years. In the 26 years that you've been doing it, what has been some of the most fantastic breakthroughs have you seen in the hypnotherapy field?
Well, it's grown exponentially. I can't believe how it's grown. Still not enough of us in it, but it has definitely grown. And it's, when I started back in 1997, it was like pulling teeth to get new clients. People were so afraid, especially maybe where I was located, me being melanated and all of them not. That could have had something to do with it. But in general, people were afraid of it. And now it's become so mainstream. And that's huge. That's a big difference.
It's so interesting because you said 1997 you started, right?
Yes.
In your personal cycle, you was in an expansion cycle. You was in a number 3 cycle, which is interesting when you add it all across, with your month, your day, and the year that you started. And what's so interesting, 3 is connected to the sign of Sagittarius, which is interesting, and it deals with expansion and growth, the need to expand. So stepping into that field was another form of expanding where you wanted to get to that next level. So I'm proud of your journey, even following the pattern, cycles, and sequences of your life. I'm proud of that journey.
I didn't know it was happening. I had no idea.
That's why I tell people numbers don't require you to believe in them. They work behind the scenes, whether you believe them or not, just like clocks and these computers and all that. They don't care what you're doing. I can put number 2 on here. They don't give a F about you right now. But if you know how to interpret it, it will help you out if you know what to use it. So I'm proud of that journey. Let's get that a round of applause. And why do you feel our people are not interested enough to getting into that mental field of, because that's really an ancient science. When I looked it up, it goes back into Kemet. It goes way back. They had these type of hypnosis hall, hypnotherapy halls and all that back in the day. Why is our people so afraid of something that came out of them?
Well, it's new in our minds. It's new. I think because we were controlled, and still very much controlled, that we have a fear of being controlled. It's a misconception that, you will lose your will. No one is going to go under that doesn't want to go under.
Right.
If I were to give a suggestion that goes against your moral code, you would never follow it. So there's really nothing to be afraid of. But if you don't know that, you don't know that. So I think a lot of it has to do with giving up our free will, fear of that. And then also a lot of us are Christians and we believe that somehow it's connected with demonic forces or the underworld. And it's just a lot of misconceptions.
And I think that's a shame because where people might consider it to be, quote unquote, the occult and all that kind of stuff, or the shadow side, people got to realize that our brain our brain and our mind lived in the shadows of who we are. And we all came out of the shadows. We came out of our mother's womb. There's a darkness and all that, but we can't seem to figure out why we're not connecting to the darkness to find the light, because in the darkness we do find light. And some people don't realize how important it is to go back into the shadow sides of who they are to find out what was, because for instance, you helped me with getting through a lot of the fear of leaving my mother in New York and all that kind of stuff, And I think when you did that session with me, and I know you always say you do another one, King Simon, I just listen to the old stuff, but it's good because the old stuff, while I'm going to sleep, it still helps me. But
are you listening to that sometimes?
Yes, because I know I still have to unpack. It's still unpacking.
You're still yeah. It's funny. I would bump into people back when I lived up north, and all of my clients came to me in my office, or I'd even get phone calls, and people would say, "My tape broke." This was back when we used cassette tapes, where we could send it digitally. My tape broke, and I'm saying, "But you stopped smoking immediately, or you lost all the weight you were looking for." They're like, "No, that's my bedtime story every night. I need another session because I need another tape." So
it is like, and I do it once a month or once every 2 months because I know I'm resonating. And if my spirit, I go with my spirit. When my spirit, my energy tells me to go, I go. And that's why that I know I needed to do that, especially after we did that interview, and it was such a great response to see someone in that field do what they're doing. And I was so proud because I know you was kind of nervous because I was like the first one you really dealt the interview with, and now you're so comfortable. Look at you just chilling now, and
pretending. I'm pretending.
and we sipping tea and doing what we do, girl. I'm so over.
I think I'm an actress on top of it. No, I'm nervous. I'm always nervous in front of the camera. I mean, it's not debilitating.
Right.
It's not like it was before. I'm much better, but
right. It's funny you said actress because Lloyd would tell you that Sagittarius is one of the best signs for entertainment and acting and all that. Some of the greatest Sagittarius, some of the greatest entertainers are Sag. So that's interesting that you would say something like that.
Well, what? What's interesting? When I was a teenager, I was in Saks Fifth Avenue. I had a job that I was too young to have. Back in the day, they used to have the perfume testers. They would spray you. So I was doing that for Pierre Balmain. And I think it was called Ivory or something. I had on this white evening gown, and I sprayed this lady, and she started talking to me, and she says, "You know what? I am a director over at CBS, casting director. I'd like you to come in and test." And I said, "Really?" And she gave me her card, and I went home and I told my dad. And he said, "Kendell, don't you know this city is full of crazy people and shysters? This is garbage. No." And I demanded that we go. And he was like, "You know what? I'm going to show you." So he took me. And I did a screen test. First I did a reading, then they put me in front of the camera, and she said, "You nailed it. We want you to come back. You're going to have to get an agent." And my dad flipped out on me, and he says, "Nope, you're not going into that industry. It's a horrible industry. It's dangerous. You'll wind up a drug addict. They'll use you up and spit you. Like, he just went on a tirade, and he didn't let me do it. But he was right. It would have been such destruction for me. That would not have been a healthy thing at all.
That is interesting that your dad would do that, and and obviously he must know what was going on, being the elder that he was, and that industry can be something else. I've been in that industry, and I had to step to the side and go somewhere else with it, as far as radio and television, instead of doing all the madness. But I think it's very important what you do, because it helps to realign people's thoughts and help to overcome certain fears. Because I've known friends of mine that have done it, and now they're able to fly and do what they had to do, stop smoking and all that. And you've told me some stories right here on this platform about, doing a lot of things. But a lot of people are confusing what you do with what they do on stage. And how different is that? Because I know you've done stage before. You've done it. You've had some fun with people.
Very briefly. Very briefly.
Yeah, very briefly. So how different is it from the stage of doing hypnotherapy and compared to what you do as something as a mental healing for people out there?
Well, the stage is part of the problem why people are afraid of hypnosis.
That part.
Right? Because for obvious reasons. So
okay.
I have a little gripe with the stage hypnotist, but the difference mostly is that it's therapeutic. Hypnotherapy is therapeutic. Hypnosis or hypnotists on stage are providing entertainment. And interestingly enough, many of them think that they're helping hypnotherapists by doing that, but they're not. That's where all the fear comes from. Or movies where that movie Get Out.
Yes, I remember that. Right.
It doesn't help. It just doesn't help. I sat in the theater and I was just like, oh, this is not happening.
another destructive mechanism, another destroying and destructive mechanism. Destroying. And that is interesting, because I watched it, and they had the whole spoon and the cup and all that, and it got very interesting to me how they used that cup, because I know from certain metaphysics scientists what the cup and the spoon represents, and where it goes back to about going deep into like a rabbit hole, or that's what they're dealing with, and spiraling down.
Tea leaves.
Yes.
All that.
Yeah, so I take those movies with I study them, yes, but I take what I need and then chew the fat or chew what's necessary and get rid of the rest. But I find that when people watch movies like that, or watch series, because there was a whole series on hypnosis, a guy that was doing a lot of hypnotizing, called himself a psychic and all that kind of stuff, and I got no problems with people that practice that and understand it. It's just with the intentions that come with it. And you have to be you have to have good intentions when you're presenting those type of things. And being going to the life coach part of your life, what made you decide to touch into life coaching, and also using the hypnotherapy as a one of the buffers, or something that helps along that life coaching path?
Well, it happened very naturally and quickly, because you work with people and you get to know each other. And as you know, in my sessions, a lot of information comes out. So when I ask someone, okay, so you want to start a business? Well, what have you done so far? What are your challenges? And they start telling me, well, I have to do this and this, but I'm not sure what to do about this. People it helps. It helps to have someone that you know and trust, and that you see that they know what they're doing to help you. So I didn't actually start out wanting to do that. It just happened naturally, because clients would say, well, do you think maybe you for 3 months that we could just have a weekly session, not necessarily for hypnosis, but just so I can get this off the ground, just so you can guide me. Sometimes it's someone needs help going through a separation in a relationship, or grief. Someone has passed away and they feel like they just want someone to help guide them through the maze, and that's where I come in. But it's more than that. It's for all kinds of different things.
Right, right. Now, on your website, now, do you offer certain services that they can continually come to you every month, or what do you suggest when it comes to hypnotherapy? What do you suggest? How many times should they come to you?
Most people are, it depends. If it's just for hypnotherapy, 2 sessions, 3 sessions, 3 sessions is optimal. And I say never do less than 2. Because what happens after you have your first session, and you'll see, like you did, lots of change, right? You see movement, you see change. But after that, inevitably, you're going to see other things that you want to change in your life. Once you get rid of the main things, other things pop up. And you realize, you know what? This works so well for this. Why don't I do it for that? So you can, even though my intake is very thorough, you will find other things that you can work on. And then they'll work on that. And the third one is sort of wrapping it all up. But I always recommend that once you become one of my clients, check in once a year. It's just like how you would go to the dentist for a checkup or to the doctor for a physical. Check in once a year, and just because life is ever evolving, nothing stays the same. So just so that you can stay on top of your game and really get the most out of your life, out of your career, your family, whatever it is that's going on, once a year is good to check in.
Once a year is good to check in. So I'll give that a round of applause. Now, you say that you say this on your website, says you deserve to change your life. Time stands still for none of us. Whether through hypnotherapy, life coaching, or both, you can create the life you envision and deserve. Here's a small sample of some of the things that people can contact that have contacted me for in the past year and a half. And you got dietary changes like diabetes and heart issues, changing to veganism and vegetarian diets, stress management, fear and anxiety, releasing unwanted habits and patterns, chronic disease issues, behavior modification, confidence and self-esteem, racial aggression and microaggression, goals, accomplishments, anger management, public speaking, manifestation, like in the secret, smoking and or drinking, of course. And you got so much stuff going on here. Now, I mean, with the people that you've dealt with over the time, because a lot of us are going down this spiritual road and sometimes don't know where we should go. And like I said, hypnotherapy helped me to clear some stuff as far as family. But there's a way that you do it, because what happens is that you have us fill out a survey. You know what I'm saying? And why is it so important to fill out that survey? What is that the survey pull out for you that you can bring to fruition for that client that you're dealing with?
Oh, that intake form is magical for me.
I'm sure.
What it does is it not only hits, because it's as exhaustive as it is, it actually only touches the surface, but it gives me a lot of information about you, how you think. It gives me a hint, at least a good hint, on what kind of induction I'm going to use, whether it's going to be passive or if I'm really going to just have to slam you down. Like, it gives me so much information. And from that, then in our session, it helps to, if I didn't use that, let's put it this way, if I didn't use that intake form, it would take us 6 sessions to get to it, because people have so much going on in their lives and there's so many different areas to check in on. So I find out about so much, and I always ask, send me that intake form, give me a day or 2 or 3, depending on how busy I am. I need to work with it. I need to really get to know you. And then I start taking notes for our session. So it's just really good for prep work. It's
And,
part of the reason why people get the results that they get. So I've had people say, well, it's very invasive. Yeah, it is. It is invasive.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you got a list of things, but that you've dealt with in the last 25 years. Look at this list, family. This is a whole list going down. I mean, in alphabetical order. Oh my god, this is what she's dealt with. And this is what, and she says way more. Look at this. This list goes down up my arm. This is as long as my arm and my legs put together.
You know? The simple image on my website, that is tacky. I better fix
that. My sister said it lets you know how crazy we are. Katana, okay, we know.
Nobody's getting through this life without some craziness. You're just not.
So cray, exactly. You know, and
I just came out of some craziness. I would say it for about 2 months. I had to just sort of. I did see a couple of clients here and there, very rare. I was so burnt out and was dealing with imposter syndrome like crazy, because I'm like, okay, I'm telling everyone about self-care. You have to take the time to take care of yourself.
Right.
And I just completely burnt out. But I'm back. I'm back better than ever. I'm ready to roll. But yeah.
That's good. That's good. And you should be. Let's get that a round of applause, man. I know, especially around especially around our birthdays, that's what we've got to pay a little bit more attention to what's going on, and pay attention, because that's what we call a critical cycle about at that time. And I always tell people, pay attention in your critical cycle. Don't stress yourself. Don't let people stress you. Don't let people outward things that stress you. Go within if you have to, and really deal with yourself. Because I've dealt with a lot of thousands of clients myself, and how it works in these many years that I've been doing this stuff, and it's not easy. And when I think that people need your services, I'll send them to you. I'll send them to all. You hear me. You
wonderful to me. Thank you so much.
I love you, girl. I love you and your husband. I love you. We got to do that. And one of the questions I do have for you in regards to going back to I want to go to the warnings. While they say while hypnotherapy is generally safe and well tolerated, that does not mean it doesn't come with certain warnings or potential risks. What are some of the potential risks that you want to alert the audience that they got to be very mindful of when they undergo something like this?
First of all, who you deal with.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You just keep putting up that sample picture, son.
I'm looking at it. I keep on pressing the wrong button. That's the problem.
Don't show that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you need to know who you're dealing with. What are their qualifications?
Right.
What's their experience? And I hate to say what's their experience, because when I started out, it was really strange, not to toot my own horn, but I was really good right away. And some people are. I think there's also, if you're intuitive, there's a lot that goes with it.
Yes.
And, know who you're working with for sure, and their qualifications, and just be open. If you can't open yourself up to someone, then you're not working with the right person. If you don't feel that you can just let it all out, once it comes to me, it goes no further. That's it. It's the end of the line. It's never repeated. It's never, that's it. So full confidentiality, absolutely.
Right.
But and it doesn't really happen, but if I had a client that was, oh yes, it happened once with a little girl. And I think I told you, I've been working with Syrian refugees that are here. But it was because she had been through so much trauma, like real trauma, war trauma, that she wasn't able to speak with me, and she'd whisper to her mom, and then her mom would tell me. And then after she was hypnotized and I counted her back up, she said, Mommy, I wish I would have just talked to Kendell. She was really nice and easy to talk to, but I was just so scared. Now she's doing great. But it was one session, and just all that war trauma that she had been through,
Yeah.
right out the window.
Wow.
That's
And how old was she?
she's a teenager.
Okay. She was a teenager at that time, or was she younger at that time? Or
No,
she was a
when
teenager.
I just saw her a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
Wow. Wow. And and that's what I think that's very important that to people to note that you have young people that are going through a lot of issues, a lot of peer pressure right now, a lot of challenges. People are being bullied, cyberbully. I don't even know what that was because when I dealt with bullies, it was straight face to face and we had to get it in back in my day. But now it's cyberbully. I'm like, turn off the computer, shut it down. But it's not that easy because we're so engaged in this new life of social media. Even
I
you
can't
yourself.
even imagine being a child today.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
cannot
even
even, as if it wasn't hard enough in our day.
exactly. Even if and that's why if you have children out there, and Kendall is a very tender soul, family. She's very tender. She
Okay.
really handles you with kid gloves, no matter what age you are. And the consultation before is also very extraordinary because she does consult you before y'all go under, and then she sends you what she has to send you so you can fill out and all that, so she can deal with those what internals. You do not do transgression. You don't do the past life stuff. You don't
I
go back in
don't,
there. Not
but
anymore,
I
right?
can refer to
Right.
someone that does, but I don't do it.
Good, because you used to do it, right? You tried it, and how was that? Please, how was that? Jeez, we got to talk about that because everybody's into. I want to know what happened in my past life. I want to do that. I was a
Yeah,
king. I was a king. I was a queen. I was this. Why not the
everybody.
plumber? You're not the plumber. That's the garbage man. Why the king and the queen? Where the garbage people at?
They
Please
don't.
go
No,
ahead.
no, no. They don't do that. Only,
Okay.
only royalty.
Only royal. Everybody's royal. Everybody. I was once a Kemetic king and queen. I mean, I use King Simon because my father was a king. As far as when I say that, I say he was a promoter. Then my cousin came, and king only means kin, something of a bloodline. That's all it comes from, that root. So I don't get caught up in the royal stuff. It's just I understand the etymology of it. But what was that all about when you used to do that? What was that? How did that
Well,
affect
I
you?
did. Okay, full disclosure, I only did it once
Okay, good. Okay, great.
and I was freaked out by it.
Mm,
I didn't trust what came up,
mm,
and I just decided I'm not going to do this anymore. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't trust the process. I don't
mm,
know that I'm good at it, and I'm not going to experiment on anybody.
mm. Wow, wow. That's deep. I mean, because you say you didn't trust it. That's the word that really touched me because, and
Not
I
people don't do great work with it. I'm saying for me, I
right.
did not trust that I knew what I was doing, that it was authentic, you know, history. I just didn't trust it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do anything that I don't trust.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, especially because your alignment number is 22, and that master number got to be very pointed at what they have to do, and be very careful what they step into too. That's deeper about that number 22 because when you have, and when I say 22, people understand. When I say alignment number, I'm adding the month and the day that she was born, and that's what got me to align what she's aligned with. That's why when you said you learned it so fast and you became so good at it so fast, that 22 is there, and it shows me where that's important. And and I tell people when you have master number energies or energies that have zero behind it, like 10 or 20 and 30, that comes with a lot of a lot of potential, both positive and negative, and it comes with responsibility, and with great responsibility, that with great power comes great responsibility, so to speak. That's I'm glad that you recognize what that potential was, and naturally, and that's the important part. So I gotta applaud that. I gotta applaud that, Kendall, if you don't mind.
Well, I also did the same with acupuncture.
Mm.
I studied acupuncture and was licensed, and I knew it wasn't for me. I knew that I would never be able to really be good, to really grow in it, and to give it, it's a powerful, powerful, powerful medicine. And I knew it was not for me, so I didn't practice. Spent all that money, all that study time, all that, but it just was not for me.
Somebody said Kendall is the real deal. Glenn, big up to Glenn Cosby. What's up, Glenn?
Hey, sexy Glenn. That's my nickname for him, Sexy Glenn.
Oh, Sexy Glenn. He must be a sexy dude, huh?
You know his voice. Glenn's from radio.
Oh, that's the radio host, Glenn. What's up? Oh, I remember Glenn. Yeah, we've spoken together. What's up, Glenn? I think he's in Chicago or someplace. One of those places.
He was in Chicago. He's somewhere else.
Chicago. Yeah. So we was all on radio. So okay, big up to Glenn. How you doing, Glenn? I hope everything is well.
Is something else.
Glenn is a cool dude. Aton introduced me to him over phone call.
That's how I met him.
Yeah, that's it. So big up to Glenn, man. And that type of therapy that you do with the hypnotherapist can help either people that have a shyness that want to break through, like, public speaking, getting on radio, doing what we do, because I naturally gravitated to a lot of this from when I was young. But I tell people I did have a fear, but once I start speaking on the mic, I can do no wrong when I get on that microphone. I get on the mic, I will rock a stage, crazy, and rock. Oh yeah, that's right. You have
at Caroline's.
Ooh, that's Caroline. You haven't seen me in front of 10,000 people.
You're amazing, though. And then also with why can't I remember his name? Comedian.
Oh, Monterey Ivy? Who? Which comedian?
No, it was in Brooklyn. I was in New York at the time. I was visiting. Aton and I came. Famous comedian.
And I was with him?
You introduced him.
Oh, wait a minute. I introduced
Why can't I remember his name?
I've introduced so many people. It's a darn shame.
Brilliant comedian.
Paul Mooney.
Thank you. Yes.
Paul Mooney. When I brought Paul Mooney to town, that's right. Yes, I brought Dick Gregory too. So it's like, when you start saying famous comedians,
I met Dick Gregory. I would have loved to have seen him.
Yeah, that was good. I think I did Dick Gregory the year before, and then I did Paul Mooney the year after. So yeah, that is interesting. That's right. At CPAC, yeah, Aton just came on and said Paul Mooney. Yes, Aton, Paul Mooney. Yeah, we miss Paul, man. We miss Paul. Paul was a good guy. Me and Aton went to Caroline's to run into Paul one time too. We left Caroline's to go check out Paul. But I think Paul needed some hypnotherapy, to tell you the truth. Because a lot of stuff was in his head sometimes, man. And I remember sitting down with him at that venue where you came to, and he actually thought I was some dude from the past in the nightclub, like I was his age. I'm like, bro, no, I know those clubs.
So young.
Yeah, but I had at that time. Paul was there. Paul was there talking to me while he was getting money. Because we were paying him his money at that time. Like, and he just talked fast. He said, you remember, right, Simon? I'm like, no, sir, but I'll go with you. I don't care. But I think he was suffering. He started to suffer from dementia. Now, can something like hypnotherapy can help that too? Dementia and
I don't believe so.
You don't think so? You don't think so?
I don't think so. Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, because a lot of people are suffering from that as they're getting older. And
you see, I couldn't remember Paul Mooney's name, right?
Don't claim that. Don't claim that you suffer. Do not do it. But family, those that don't know who Kendell is, please make sure y'all support our dear sister. She's a hypnotherapist and life coach. She's celebrating 26 years. So this will be 26 years, or this will be 27 years this year?
It will be the 27th year in March.
In March. In March will be 27 years in this field. So she's very good. She has a new 1-800 number. That's 1-800-396 Mind Your Business. No, 396 Mind. That's 6463. That's 6463. That's 1-800-396-6463. And you can go to her website, Hypnosis with Kendell. Go book a session. She does it over Zoom, and she's very good. Just make sure you have the space clean and make sure you can lay out.
Wait. They don't have to have a clean space.
Oh, they could have a dirty ass, nasty space. Okay, no problem.
I don't judge what people are going through. If you're going through stress, you might be a hoarder and you want to work with hoarding. That's none of my business. What your space looks like. I don't care.
I made sure my place was clean. That's all I know.
Listen, I meet people where they are. It does not matter to me. I'm not judging. I'm here to help, not judge.
Okay. And forgive me, family.
That's 2024. You know, January was a trial month for 2024. Let February start the year off strong.
Exactly. And my birthday is February 1st, so you know it's going to start the year right. We're going to start it right in Black History Month. And do remember her husband is doing something big. Let me shout that out real quick. He's releasing this new website, Afro Prep. That's right. Afro Prep is being released this coming week, Thursday, on my birthday, on my born day. And of course, if you haven't seen that message, you can go to his Facebook at Aton Edwards that he put up, or come to my Patreon, because I didn't want to leave it up, because I know Aton can get into some stuff, and I know I don't want people to take my stuff down. Afroprep.com is the website. Readyforanything.org is the website. Make sure y'all check out Aton and what he's doing. That's my brother.
Oh. You know what? His Insta is The Real Aton Edwards.
Oh, you mean Instagram?
Aton Edwards.
The Real Aton Edwards. That is his Instagram. Yes, make sure y'all check that out.
Drag him into Instagram. He came in screaming. He did not want to. He's like me with social media.
Yeah. Him and Phil Valentine. Phil Valentine didn't want to get it. His son got him into that. It's like, okay, I'll do it just because it's gonna pull some more people towards me. You know, he'd rather meet person to person, face to face.
There's so much to know. There's a lot to learn. Or how the algorithms, all that stuff. It's annoying.
Okay, before we finish, I'm going to just shout out some random words in the hypnotherapy field. I'm going to play a little game with you, and wherever you go with it, you can go quick, fast. We're going to have some fun with it. Go with quick, fast, and then we're going to deal with it. And it's not going to come off of your website either, so let's not go there. So are you ready?
Listen, the website is raggedy because you challenged me. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes, that's right. That
I did. Challenge to me, and I threw it up, and I didn't look at it ever again.
I remember that. I recall.
Yeah, and it was like a full moon that was coming, or a special moon.
Right. Exactly.
And then that's you, Simon.
Oh, let me give myself a round of applause. Stop playing. I'm like James Brown. I ain't afraid to step back and kiss myself. I ain't afraid to do it. All right, you ready for these words?
I'm ready.
All right, we're gonna make it quick and fast. We're gonna have a little fun with Kendell. I'm gonna put her up in the front.
Wait, what's happening?
I'm gonna say some words, and you're gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw some words, and you say what it means to you in the hypnotherapy field.
Okay.
What it means to you from your perspective. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Don't get nervous. I got you. I got you.
You're killing me. Go on.
Yes. All right. All right. Let's get started. I got some words here I want to throw out. All right. The word focus.
What it means in hypnotherapy?
Yes, and how it relates, how it can help people that want to.
Well, it depends on who I'm working with. For people that have ADHD, I don't want them to focus. I want them to drift. And I speak to their subconscious. Yeah, I speak to their subconscious mind. I'm always speaking to the subconscious mind once I pick there. So, yeah, I would never stress someone out who has ADHD.
Wow, no. That's interesting. You don't want them to focus. You want them to be what they are. Exactly.
Right. I'm not going to stress them out.
That's interesting. Okay. Next word. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Relaxation.
That's hypnotherapy. Hypnosis is deep relaxation.
Deep relaxation. That's what it is.
Very deep relaxation.
Next word. You ready?
I'm ready.
Awareness.
With hypnotherapy, awareness of self, being self-aware. And I feel like even just doing the intake form, not just feel like, people have told me just the intake form, bless you, that it made them more self-aware. Things that they hadn't considered or thought of came to the forefront. Am I playing this right? I feel like I'm not playing.
No, you're answering it the way you're supposed to answer. Everything is right and exact in the universe. Nothing is wrong at this point. No. Ready? You ready for the next word?
I'm ready.
Anxiety.
Stress relief. And the ability to manage anxiety.
I like that you said that. How about control?
Releasing control.
Say it again.
Releasing control.
Do you find that a lot? And that's the last word. That was the last word. Do you find that a lot, that people try to control their self when they're in that type of session? They try to just control what's happening? No?
No. I create a space that is warm and inviting.
Yes, it is.
I'm completely non-judgmental. No, people let it rip. Yeah.
People let it rip.
They let it rip. And that's, the more I know, the better. The more forthcoming someone is with their truths, that's ammunition,
Right. Wow. Well, Kendell.
And can I tell you something?
Yes.
Thanks to you, Dwan, Lloyd. My love both of them dearly.
And Lloyd, yes. Big up to Dwan and Lloyd.
I would say that my client base is close to 50-50 with men and women.
Get out of here.
Coming in, they are doing the work. It's very close to 50-50.
Wow.
And that for me is incredible.
But what has it been in the past?
With us as melanated people?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't start with melanated people until my first interview with you.
Yes.
It started out, it was maybe 70-30 in the very beginning, but quickly it went to close to 50-50. It didn't take long at all. And you know what some of the things men are coming in talking about? Just not all of them, but some of them.
What is that?
Mother issues, neglect or anger from their mothers, abandonment from their fathers.
Yes.
Stress from the criminal justice system or criminal injustice system. What else? Issues growing up in the hood. Stress, hood-related stress.
Wow.
I mean, just so much stuff. Children being taken away from them. Not physically, they'll have children and the mother will not let them see the child. That's another one. Just so much. Just work stress, work-related stress, lots of racism. Yeah. The brothers are coming in and they're doing the work. I'm so proud of them.
Oh, my brothers, thank y'all very much for coming in. Why did I laugh? I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the laughter button.
That's because you put up that picture with the sample on it.
It's a sample. It's coming from your website. But Kendall, so proud of you. Thank you very much for what you've done. You know, I ain't gonna keep you up long because you're a busy lady. You gotta make sure
you're having me. Look, you got me in clothes on a Sunday.
I can't. Yeah, I'm surprised.
I took off my head bag, put on some makeup. This is for you.
She was backstage doing this. Stop playing. I'm not doing all of this for y'all. I'm not doing all of this with you. I'm so proud of what you and Aton and what Amen and your daughters are doing. Also, whatever they're doing in their life, man, give them enough respect and show them much love to them, man. And I'm glad that you were able to come on. And please, family, please support her. If you really want to heal from certain things, or at least whatever you're going through and you want to overcome certain things, this is one of the therapists that I would definitely suggest you go through, because it definitely helped me along my journey. And more than likely, I might have to do one for my birthday or something like that, you know, since it's coming.
Good.
I'm turning 57 years younger, so I'm happy that I'm actually enjoying that. Dewan is in the building. What's up, Dewan? Hey, Dewan. Big up to Dewan. What's up, sir? Good to see you, sir.
There.
I know. I think his wife's birthday is coming up also. I think it's February 9th, if I'm not mistaken. It's coming up, and I know his is like, I think June 17th, if I remember. But yeah, I'll be remembering things. I don't know what that is. But Dewan, big up to Dewan. Make sure y'all go to his YouTube channel. Dewan is on here, so make sure y'all support that. Yeah, Dewan B be doing it. I think Hotep-ish.
Hotep-ish. And also incense and ashtrays. You know he's a music historian, right?
No, it's August 9th, right? It's August. I know there's a 9. I know there was a 9. So yeah, it's August 9th. It's her birthday, and he's June the 17th. That's right. I know it was one of those 9s. I was thinking about that. My birthday is coming up. That's why I put her right there with me, because she's a Leo, and that's the other side of Aquarius. So I put her right there with me. He said, "Thank you. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome." And yes, Glenn, you're welcome too, man. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, Glenn. And everybody that came on, my sister, Aton, everybody that came on. Kendall, thank you very much for being your great self.
It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, man. And I hope y'all get to go and see Professor Smalls, man. You should go meet Professor Smalls.
We're planning to.
Yeah, because and Carrie Ann is going to be there, my co-host.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she already paid for her tickets. She already paid for her tickets. I said, okay, do your thing.
I want to meet her live. I just saw that I thought she was like in her late 20s. She looks so young.
In her 40s, right? She's 44. Big up to the 44 in the building. Her birthday just passed, too. Her birthday just passed on the 26th of January. So happy birthday again, my dear.
She must have really, really good energy, because she looks like a baby still.
Yeah, she's taking care of herself, and her grandfather just transitioned, but she's taking care of herself. She just went over there to Jamaica, and she got some real old books from the archives. She got the Negro handbook, and I remember hearing Dick Gregory and John Clark speak about the Negro handbook. Her grandfather had. I'm saying, Black History Month, we're gonna talk about those books that she got from her grandfather, who transitioned just recently.
Wow.
And Mr. Barrett and the whole family. But I'm telling you, family, when she started showing me books on our FaceTime, I was like, whoa, look at that book. Look at this book. It's leather. Look at this 1900 what? I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. I love books. So
I can't believe that's a treasure.
Because when you go to after funerals and celebrations of life, sometimes the people ain't fighting for books. They want to fight for everything else. She got the priceless stuff, to tell you the truth. She got the real
treasure
that she can treasure. I'm like, yo, that and I'd say to my family, we try to make sure we balance. And I told my children, look, if y'all cannot keep those books, make sure you give them away to a Black institution that can deal with these books, like a Schomburg's or one of those places. Give it away to them. Don't throw it away, because my mother used to say, I
don't think they're going to throw anything away. So don't worry about that. You have quite a collection.
My mother said, look, my mother said there was a person throwing away a book. Matter of fact, a white guy and his family, he had passed on. He was born January 21st. He lived next door to me in Brooklyn. And when I came to visit my mother, the family was throwing away all of his books. And my mother came out the door, and I said, Mom, they throwing away books. She said, it's a sin to throw away books.
Well, some of them are garbage, but
Yeah.
the good books are a sin to throw
But
away.
let me tell you something. This book I got from its hardcover. This book was written in 1951.
What is it?
You know, it's a book that says "Teach Yourself Swahili."
Oh, wow.
Exactly. This white guy had this book in his archives. Teach yourself Swahili. He was in the military. He's a military dude. Teach yourself Swahili. Hard book. Never got. I will never. And then I found a numerology book that he was studying also. I'm like, and he had he had the collection of Charles Dickens. He had the collection of H.G. Wells.
Wow.
I was like, I went and got those H.G. Wells book, the Charles Dickens they wanted to keep, and he had a collection of comic books. He had the first Superman.
And he was giving it up?
No, those they didn't want to touch the comic books. Do not touch the comic book. Matter of fact, they sold one of them because they had two of them. They sold one of them, and they was able to pay for the house in Brooklyn because they actually had the house up for sale. They paid for the house. They paid for the new house in Philly. They sold it for, get this, $1 million.
The collection?
No, just the one Superman book collection. Just one Superman.
Wow.
Exactly. People don't know how much people will buy for the first Batman, the first Superman, or the first Spider-Man. Just those three books, and they had two Superman one. And I was tempted to take it, and then I said, no. My spirit said, no, don't do it. John came to me because that's the name of the guy that passed out. John said, don't take it. That's for my children. That's for my grandchildren. That's for my, and I kept it there. And it was like I told the mother, I said, 25 years ago, this book was worth. Superman 1 was worth $50,000. By now, it should have went up. And sure enough, they sold it anonymously because I heard it on 1010 Wins in New York that Superman 1 was sold anonymously over the web for $1 million. I was like, wow, in perfect, pristine condition. Yes. Well, Kendell, I held you. It's now 2:00. It's 57 minutes or 3 minutes before the top. Thank you very much, Kendell, for coming on again. You're welcome. Thank you. H.R. tell him I need to have him on for February for this month since he's releasing everything in this month.
I thought I just heard him out there in the hallway, but it wasn't him.
A lot of mercy. All right, Kendell, take care now. All right, bye-bye. All right, that's my girl Kendell in the building. Believe me, you will love some Kendell when she does some work with you. I'm telling you, you will love some Kendell. And I'm proud of her journey and what she's doing in life as far as helping people through getting to their subconscious mind. I think that's very important, that you get to people's subconscious mind in any way you can to help them with good intentions. Remember, it's depending on who you find. You have to find people with good intentions. Very important. Find people with good intentions, and Kendell has good intentions. Let me put up her website again, just in case y'all didn't see it. Let me put up this is her website. Let's scroll through it a little so y'all can see. This is a website, and she said I encouraged her to do her website, and I'm honored that I'm able to do that. And again, you deserve to change your life. And she has a list of things that she does that she is able to help, from nightmares, pessimism, problem solving, procrastination, public speaking, relaxation, all of this, smoking, being stubborn, all of this, writer's block, trauma. Matter of fact, I think I'm suffering. No, I'm not suffering from writer's block. I can write. It's just to sit down and do it. That's probably what I have to deal with it because I got at least 6 more books to come out of me. The children's book is getting ready to come out soon. I have a nice children's book that's coming out. So I'm working. But I do want to finish off my autobiography and my last numerovation book, which is going to be a thicker book, and it's going to be hardcover, and it's more than likely going to be something else. I'll tell you that. It's going to be something else. All the studies that I've been doing, oh my goodness, it's getting cray. So people on Instagram, thank y'all very much for supporting. People on Facebook, thank y'all very much for supporting. Twitter, X, thank y'all very much. My Facebook page is King Simon and King Simon Production. My public page, King Simon Production. And of course, King Simon Presents Only Quality People and the Numerovation Nation. And Twitter, X or X, you can go to King Simon Prod, and my Instagram is I am.KingSimon if you want to be my friend up there, okay? I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh and talk some hypnotherapy. I'm so glad that Kendall was able to come on and join me. Comes the time we have to say, Serenata! Yo, take care of yourself, be safe, and remember tonight we have the beautiful Destiny Pendarvis. She's an entrepreneur. She's a life coach, intuitive life coach, and crystal advisor. Tonight at 7 p.m., I have her on, and we're going to be speaking about the power of inner growth. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening, people. Be safe, be strong, be focused, and take care of your beautiful self. Take care. One love. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Eye to eye, heart to heart, each one teach one, us. This is Professor Imhotep, the Island Monk, here at Warrior Kido Jiu-Jitsu, Way of the Warrior Spirit. So we're here to go over the rules and try to make that as swift as possible for you guys. So the rules essentially are very few. Number one is to follow us on TikTok at the Island Monk, or if you have Instagram, you can follow us at Warrior Temple Island University, or if you really love us and want to show us support, you can follow us at both. You're going to find the Kata Shodachi, and you're either going to duet us on TikTok or collab with us on Instagram and win 10 tickets for every additional video you do beyond. So as we say with all the warriors, eye to eye, heart to heart, each one teach one, us.
Hey, this is King Simon, the International Numero Beta. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to Linktree/King Simon, the Numero Beta. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numero Beta. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numero Beta for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%, the poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the classes.